That's another a way of how they're known to provoke. What it is I had picked up several rocks and I'd put them there in order to have it where no animals would go in there. Because what it is things like skunks and possum would go in there. And then so when basically I had some unpleasant surprises when I would go and walk the dog when it was dark outside. Hold on. Hold on a minute. But there were things that there were the big rocks put on both sides. I just wanted to show something. So here's basically where the rocks went. But basically another example of basically intentionally provoking me. But I look at it, it's just like between me sitting there and going, give me my rocks back. Those are my rocks. I put them out in the pipes. Yeah. It's like those rocks can stay there to remind him what an asshole he is. And to what? Oh, well. And it just... Another hawk just went by. but anyhow, just basically, who is the one with a real problem? Somebody sit there and basically steal the gigantic stones that that I put in the pipes to keep the deer from the animals from going in there. But it's just like, and what's wild is he'll be the first one to sit there and scream, oh, she's doing this, she's doing that, and I'm like, hogwash, that's the same son of a bitch, excuse my French, that intentionally ran into me and just acted stupid about what he was doing. I'm talking about taking his elbow and boom. And I just am like, what a weasel. What a weasel. But it's just like, just the stuff. But one of the first things they like to do, and that's the reason why I tend to take an eclectic approach and stuff, as far as like, learn about the defense mechanisms, learn about like projection, learn about the different stuff. There's no reason to go, oh, let me jump into the lion's den and get ripped apart. There's already been lots of stuff that's out there, and my message is not for the jerks. No, it's not for the wicked. I think that you're soulless, and I actually think that you know that you're soulless, and that's the reason why you tend to be a bunch of vampires. I think that you know that you're soulless. That goes to the wicked. I think that they know that they're soulless. I think that some of them even, the Bible even has written it about the fallen angels and stuff. What I'm getting at is if a third of the angels were cast out of heaven, just think about I think some of them are fallen angels. I really do. I think some of them are demons, as well as demonically possessed. I mean, when I think back on some of them, as far as the shaking of their head and the spit flying out of their mouth, and oh no, they didn't see anything wrong with that. But also look at the Kundalini demon, spirit, whatever, and I mean, that's where that, what's his name? Rodney Brown, whatever his name is. Very bad deception. I remember somebody was busy trying to talk me into going to the Vineyard Church, and I ended up going there, and I was like, crap. The Vineyard Church was reminding me of when I was forced to go to a Grateful Dead concert. I'm like, I mean, they were spinning around in the hallways, and just, I was like, uh-uh. Oh, and then let me not forget the number of the wolves in preachers' clothing flashing the Diablo sign. But basically, they're Satanists. I mean, I can't get any clearer than that. They're Satanists. They're satanic. That's part of how what's his name? Ted Gundy, Theodore Gunderson. I mean, that's the reason why I ended up talking to Aquino. He even talked to, that he even basically admitted that he talked to Michael Aquino every night. He was on the top of the FBI. Not on the bottom. He was on the top. But basically, let me give you the summation of it. Theodore Gunderson was a Satanist. He was satanic. He was up to no good. Absolutely up to no good. That's the reason why it kind of like dupes me. It's like, and the ones that sit there and talk about Ted Gunderson, I'm like, oh man. Michael Aquino did some very wicked shit, and it's just like, well, Ted Gunderson was on top of the FBI. Why didn't he have one of his friends prosecuted for all the wicked crap he did? Those are very pretty flowers. I think that I'm not into all that stuff, but I think they're called crocuses. Very vibrant colors. But what it is that artists used to go out into nature and actually use things like onions in order to make like the different dyes to dye the colors in the wools and the fibers that they were using. And in fact, the painters used to go out and actually collect different stuff from natures before they went to what is called an apothecary in order to get the pigments to make paints. I mean, just think about the absurdity of I mean, just it's like, well, it's like the Sistine Chapel. I mean, look at how that was done. It was basically, I'm going to excommunicate you unless you paint the chapel. I mean, just think about that. I mean, talk about a beastie boy sitting there, and I mean, it's just like, but it's the hypocrisy. What did Jesus say? Woe unto ye hypocrites! Sit there and tell somebody had to get up on a ladder and they had to paint the Sistine Chapel, and just basically the shit, excuse my French, that the damn Catholic Church does to people to intentionally harm people. It's just, there's no way to justify that. There's no way in the world. Uh-uh. And that's what's sick, is that so many of them think that because when they end up going into a church that basically they're not going into the hell of the lake of fire. And that's exactly what the damn wolves in the pulpits are doing. That's just sick. Talk about a deception. That's the reason why when I think about them and I think about the outfits that they wear, it's just like I see them as being members of the same masquerade party.